My name is Rukmani Kaur. After 5 years of surviving the Kundalini Awakening, I'm here making this video to share part of my journey that led me where I am in my life. The confidence of being me. I had no idea what was going on when it first happened in 2016. I didn't have anybody guiding me, but I had that trust within myself. Like it was something good. Like I felt that intuition just saying like, this is good, keep it up. However, it was super duper challenging because I feel that everything that I had pushed aside, everything that I did not like about myself, everything that I judged of myself, of my family, of others, just came up to the surface. And honestly, I felt that it all came up at once. And I was like, what? And, prior to that, when things would come up, first of all, I didn't even know they were coming up. And then second of all, I had that very good of like pushing it aside and not looking at it. And I felt that as the Kundalini Awakening started, that was no longer an option because I had chosen to find out who I really was, what I am. And so I kept up with it. Honestly, at times, now when I look back at it, I'm like, I don't even know where the strength came from. But of course, the strength came from the pure consciousness that I am, that you are. Because, gosh, it was so challenging. All the trances that I went through. What I mean by trances is if you have seen this movie, what is this movie called? The Exorcist. When the girl is in the bed and she's doing all these crazy backbends and screaming, and it's like, that's how my trances were, and even more intense, that I felt like it wasn't even me because I was aware of the consciousness, witnessing the body waking up. But at the beginning, I had no freaking idea. I didn't have a guide physically. The guides that I had were energetic beings, super amazing deities. And I lean into the energetics of life in order to survive because I didn't know what else to do. And I didn't know anybody that had gone through a Kundalini Awakening that I was close to. And I was married at the time. My ex had no idea either. Part of him also freaked out. And I didn't know what to do besides let whatever was happening happen. And that's where the trust came in. That's where the trust came in. Even though there was many moments where what we call demons will appear right on my face and scream at me, I will just tune in into the divinity that we are and trust. Trust that I was supported. Trust that something greater than me was guiding me. That something greater than me was telling me this is your journey. There's a reason for it, whether you understand it or not. And so I kept going. And I followed that sensation, that guidance within me, even in the most difficult moments. Even when it was really like, it's time to leave. When I was so freaking scared of leaving everything behind, an entire family, an entire life. But then I couldn't stay there any longer, and I knew that. And so I trusted that. I trusted the deities, I trusted the energy, I trusted, period. Even when my family, even when friends were like, you're crazy. Like, it probably did look like I was freaking insane to others. But not inside. Inside there was like, I'm coming back. I'm not even sure what that means, but I feel it. I'm coming back. And I'm here to do this. So I sat with all those trances. I felt my body cry. I felt my body scream. I felt all the anger, all the suffering of the world, all the suffering in my lineage. I felt all the women being murdered, being burned, the children, as the Spaniards came into South America, into the country that I was born and raised in, Peru, into that territory, and the massacre that happened, I felt the pain of the land, the pain of the earth, and at the same time, I felt the love of it all. And it's that love that guided me. It was the love that allowed me to trust so much. It was that love that allowed me to understand the energetics. And I understand what was going on in my body without somebody there physically telling me. And it's that love that guided me to understand the language of every single part of my being. To know that it wasn't me, but I was there witnessing all this awakening process. And I was remembering what I am, the pure consciousness. And it was so beautiful. Every single trance, whether it was so difficult and challenging and it took me to my knees, or my body was just laying on the ground, catching its breath after it. All the pain that I had been carrying for so long, my goodness, probably for lifetimes, I was seeing it being released and integrated and saying, thank you. Thank you for having opened this experience for me to be here and witness it all. And thank you for that. Through all of that, so many of my psychic abilities came in, which it was so intense in the beginning and so scary, because I was like, what in the world is going on? Is this normal? It was normal for me. And seeing the energy of the land, understanding the communication of Mother Nature, understanding the communication of the elements, understanding, feeling it, knowing it. This is a language I also speak. This is a language we also speak that we had forgotten about. And it was so beautiful to be able to see my entire being in its totality and seeing what was moving through me and how I could guide it, how could I support it and hug it, and how could I go back to loving myself. Loving myself. I spent over 20 years hating myself. I suffered from bulimia, anorexia, depression, suicidal thoughts and tendency, anxiety. Holy smokes, so much more. And through that journey, this past 5 years of surviving this Kundalini Awakening took me back to that, to love myself. In the deepest way that I can feel right now, that I know it's not the end. I know that I will continue to love myself even more every single day. And also brought that awareness of being and my purpose. Why I came here, to help you wake up. I had to go through, and I had chosen to go through such a massive processes of this past 5 years, going really deep into the Kundalini Awakening, feeling so much and being so difficult so I could know what to do for others. Because I'm not the only one that goes through this. Perhaps my process has been really intense and yours is not, but had I not gone through those difficulties, I wouldn't even know how to hold space for you in your own process. So I'm here for you because I know what it feels like not to have anybody, or feel like you don't have anybody guiding you, anybody to tell you, dude, that's normal. That's so normal. It's okay, it's okay to feel this way. Now, here, try this out, or maybe try this out, or like, forget about this, do this, And I know that my work is not for everybody. But then when the other person feels the connection and comes to me, I welcome that person with wide open arms, heart, and being, because I see my younger version in that person. The younger version that was so freaking confused. The younger version that collapsed on her knees in front of the altar, crying, just saying, please show me a presence. Please show me a presence so I know I'm not going crazy. And meanwhile, still trying to have a life. I know. But it's not meant to be difficult. And I know that now, after these 5 years of surviving. This is what I call it, because for me it was surviving. Surviving. You don't have to go through that. You don't have to go through that. In these 5 years, I have learned so much from many people around the world. I have learned so much from life, from working with deities. Many messages coming through, many teachings coming through, that I was able to figure out what to do to make it all more gentle, more easy, and more fun. More fun. It can be fun if we let it be. If we let it be, it can be very joyful. So I'm here. I'm a divine portal alchemist, Rukmani Kaur, here to help you to release the ancestral karma that you have been carrying, helping you through your awakening process. So you tune in into your physical body as the physical body reawakens itself and it goes back into its own intelligence. So then you, the pure consciousness of life, can remember itself, that is having a personal experience, and work one-on-one with the beautiful and powerful and intelligent physical body. I am here for you, and it will be an honor to witness you in this process.